Okay, welcome parents of and guardians of pre-calculus honors students. My name is Mr. Berto. That's how it's pronounced. Many people just say Mr. Berto, but I always have to say Berto because I'm afraid my father's going to come walking down here and yell at me for pronouncing my name wrong. Anyway, I'm your son or daughter's pre-calculus honors teacher, and here is our virtual Meet the Teacher Night in this year of uncertainty, and we'll try to have a fun time here. You already know about my website. Let's get a little screen share going on here. These things that I had no idea how to do before this pandemic. I'm still learning, okay, but hopefully getting better and better with things like this, okay. And you already know about my website because if you couldn't come here, then you wouldn't actually be able to watch this video. So I'm sure you looked right here, Pre-Calculus Honors, and you saw a link, okay, but the link is not here yet because I'm recording the video right now, but it will be there eventually. Try to fill out this Google form as well, okay, just for attendance right there, when you're done viewing the video or before, it's really up to you. And if you have any questions, you can fill out this Google form down here, okay, so hopefully that's not too terrible. If you want the syllabus, okay, it's something I'm going to be speaking about, you can go to the Pre-Calculus Honors course over here, the sub page. And I used to have, homeworks and test dates written here. That's all in Google Classroom now. So really, I just have the Google Classroom codes and my Remind code. Okay, it's nice for students to get on Remind. Obviously, if there's tests and things like that, I post an announcement to Google Classroom. Many times I'll also post an announcement to Remind as well. Excuse me for drinking out of my princess cup. I have a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old daughter. Do you remember when yours were that young? So hopefully they're not screaming and yelling during this video, but you never know. So try to get on my Remind, okay? A lot of materials here from the previous year. Don't worry about that. There's only one Microsoft Word document, and that's the syllabus right here that you could download, okay? I won't do that because I don't have Microsoft Word in this laptop because I don't want to pay for it. But I'll go to, this is one of the pre-calculus classes, the Google Classroom. You can see it'll say when there's a test, okay, and really any day, maybe right here, it'll tell you, tell your son or daughter exactly what it is that they need to download. Hopefully print it as well. We'll speak about that. Here are the, attachments here. And homework, will also be, stated or written. So I'll actually go down here to the first day, and I'm sure that will take me to my syllabus. There it is. Okay, and we're taking a look. So in this year of uncertainty, we still have to teach, okay? And I told your son or daughter the first day of school, they've been shortchanged enough as far as education is concerned. I will not have them shortchanged further. They will learn what they need to learn this year, just as every other student has, as long as they're willing to put in the work, okay? And obviously this year they need to be a little bit more independent, probably a little bit more forthcoming than perhaps they have been in the past. I mean, these are honor students anyway, so they're actually supposed to be good at this type of thing. But even with honor students, you always got to keep an eye on them and make sure they're always on the up and up. Extremely demanding course, okay? It's really meant to be a prep for advanced placement calculus, either AB or BC next year, or for the seniors out there, a college calculus class, okay? I've had many college students come back and tell me they're teaching their Calc 1 class to their friends out of my notes for this class, okay? Make no mistake, by the second half of the year, we will be doing calculus in this class, okay? And I often start off this class by telling my students that it's going to be the hardest math class that you've taken so far in your mathematical careers. And they get all freaked out about that. But really, it's for a couple different reasons. I mean, one of them is just not being able to use the graphing calculator for most of the curriculum. You're not allowed to have the graphing calculator for about 80% of the advanced placement exam, and just little things that you start taking for granted. Like I was in 11th grade when the graphing calculator was first introduced into the curriculum back in good old 1996. And I remember getting it and I was like, wow, I never have to worry about adding or subtracting fractions again. This is so much less annoying than doing math, with pen and paper. But the problem with that is that they're going to need those skills, okay, as far as the advanced placement exam is concerned, and even just generally, for their own peace of mind, okay, being able to do, -1 + 3 without having to put it in the calculator. You don't need a calculator for something like that. A lot of people start to see the calculator as kind of like a crutch that they use. You kind of want to take that away. And that's just, mental math stuff, pen and paper math. Imagine they had to graph like the function y = x² + 6 without a calculator. They lose their minds, okay? But those are things that we'll talk about this year to get your son or daughter prepared. The other reason people start to think this class is difficult is that it's really theoretically based. I mean, a lot of students are in here. They're good at math already. I was in the same class at their age. Okay, I was good at math. I saw a problem. I knew to do this. When I saw this, I'll always do this, and I always get the right answer. But I didn't necessarily know why it was working, and that's what we want to focus on in this class: the actual why. Okay, students need to know why what they're doing is getting them the correct answer, so that when they see a question they've never seen before, they know how to actually analyze the information, break it down, and resynthesize the solution. Okay. And that's critical thinking. And that's something I really try to teach, and together with this course and also an AP calculus course next year, if your son or daughter decides to take one, and even if they don't, even if they go off to college, this is still a great course. Okay. To actually understand why the things they've been doing already actually work. First half of the course is some review, okay, from previous courses. And there's, a couple new things mixed in there, obviously. Second half of the course, even before the second half of the year, we get into calculus. Okay, it's kind of like a calculus light. We don't get too deep into topics. We save that for next year, but they'll have a decent understanding of it when they actually see that in advanced placement calculus. As far as being organized, okay, very important in this class. Okay, 3-ring binder. If it rings during class, don't pick it up. But it's not funny. My daughter's jumping up and down, upstairs like a madman. So I actually suggested a 3-ring binder for students before they had the plastic casing on their desk that prevents the spread of germs. Kind of makes it difficult to open up the binder, okay, but at least they could just take a piece of paper out, write on that. And I give a lot of dittos, okay, and they're all hole punched, and it's very easy for the students to organize their work. Dittos are kind of tough this year, okay, I get it. Not everybody has a printer. Not everybody has ink for the printer. Sometimes printers, you go to print, and they just refuse to work for some reason. It can be a very annoying piece of hardware. Please try to have the materials printed out for the class if you're a virtual learner or for your virtual days. I do have hard copies available in school. I will hand them out for the days that students are in school. And even, if you're a cohort A student who's in school Monday and Tuesday, when you come into school Thursday, there's a shelf in the back of my room. Okay, it actually has pre-calculus honors written, and it has the dittos for Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Okay, so if you were, cohort A, when you'd be in school Monday and Tuesday, and then Thursday and Friday you wouldn't be in school, maybe the next Monday you go in and you grab the dittos from Thursday and Friday. Obviously, it's better if they have them beforehand, but if they need an actual hard copy, I do have that. Even the virtual days, there's a virtual shelf. You just see your class, and you'll see on Wednesdays when we do virtual instruction, there's dittos. If they couldn't print them up, there's some kind of problem beforehand. So try to have that done if possible. I will hand those things out. Attendance, so important in this class. Okay, everything we do really gets built on the day after and the day after and the day after. This year might actually be, a lot nicer if your son or daughter's not feeling well, as long as they're not, really sick and they're in bed, they can't get up. They could always actually log on for the virtual lesson. I think they may need to call the attendance office first to get something like that to happen. That's something that you would have to do. But that's great, okay, because then students could actually not miss the class. So in this year of so many things that are uncertain and so many cons, there are a couple pros. I do try to look on the lighter side of things. Homework. There's still a homework grade. Okay, it starts out as 100, and it's 5 points off every time a student misses a homework. I actually am not checking homework right now. I may eventually have them upload their assignments into Google Classroom if I feel that enough students aren't doing the homework. They're supposed to want to take it upon themselves, okay, to actually do well this year. It is an elective course. So I do hand out the homework answers with the homework so students can work on their homework and then check their homework answers right then. Okay. I don't normally do that, but this year I've lost out, in the classroom. I normally have 44 minutes. Now we only have 35. Okay. We have 40-minute periods, but the last 5 minutes are intended for students to wipe down their station and begin a staggered release to their next class. So I'm trying to find ways to fit in, the same amount of material. And I need to trust your son and daughter a little bit to make sure that they actually have this homework done. Okay, so that's something maybe both of us, can stay on top of them about. And grading policy, that will remain the same. I'm going to try to do some in-class tests for sure. It's not going to be so easy because we have to test over 2 days. Cohort A will test, and then cohort B will test, or vice versa. When cohort A is testing, the other cohort has to log in for attendance. Then I'll just allow them to study for the test. And then on the next day, when cohort Cohort B is taking the test. Cohort A has to log in virtually. I'll take attendance, and then they won't be able to study for the test. I'll tell them to look through the notes for the last topic. Okay, everything that we speak about is going to be used in the subsequent chapters, so they could use that time. And we will have ways to catch up on that time over the school year. Squish some lessons together and things like that. It should still work out, okay, as long as your son or daughter is willing to put in that work. They could always see me for extra help, okay? I'm in the building 7 a.m. every morning, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. If they're in class, in school that day, they can come up and see me, okay? Probably the best way to do it. But I do have my website, okay, an Extra Help Google Classroom. I turn that on, that Google Meet, every morning at 7 o'clock, and they could, join me there virtually as well. It's only supposed to be a 10-minute video. I think I've already gone a little bit over here. Like I said, if you have questions with anything, you can always send me something in that Google form, okay? And please stay in touch. You can email me, okay? Especially your son or daughter can send me a reminder, can send me an email if they're uncomfortable about anything. Just something else in the testing. There will be virtual testing done as well, okay? If you're a completely virtual student, obviously you can't take a test in class, so there will be a test posted to Google Classroom, much like the way we did our recent virtual quest on September 23rd, okay? Just want to ask that when the students do test at home, sitting at a table where they could take their Chromebook screen, the camera, angle it down so I could actually see their hands and see that they have no calculator there, maybe take their phone and turn it over next to them just to make sure there's no funny business going on. It's not going to be the easiest year to get all these things done, but we are going to do the best that we can. Okay, so I'll stop screen sharing here. And, I hope that was adequate. Okay, like I said before, let me know if you have any questions, and we'll get through this year hopefully together. So you have a pleasant evening, and I hope everyone is safe and healthy and happy. Good evening.